Good evening. Today is January 18th, 2019. Welcome to Light at the End of the Tunnel. My name is Jeff LaRouche. Today's topic is what boggles my mind. So let's be real. I've been in recovery 27 months. I'm a recovering addict. Always will be an addict. I have all the traits of being an addict. Okay? First and foremost, I know what I have to do to get my next fixed. Best and believe that. Steal from people, steal from stores, lie to my family, neglect my child, sell drugs, the whole 9 yards. Okay? So when I got clean, I finally told on myself. That's what worked for me, was telling on myself, being real about all my problems. Okay? I wasn't put on maintenance. I chose not to be on maintenance. That's what today's topic is about, really. What boggles my mind, and about people preaching and talking jazz about people on maintenance. Okay, there's people out in the community today that put on this whole show, this whole persona. Look at me, look at me. They hold meetings in the community, and they go into the meetings and they bash people about being on maintenance. That's not acceptable. They're judging people for who they are and what they are. Now, when I go to these meetings, I want to go in there and I want to talk about my situation, my struggles, or what I'm grateful for today. But then you have people that go to these meetings that can't wait to bash somebody in front of the community and saying that it's not okay to be on maintenance. First of all, who are you to judge anybody for being on anything? And second of all, if you're on maintenance for the right reason, then it's acceptable. When you're sitting there judging other people for what their lifestyles are, who they are, then guess what? They own you. You're more worried about everybody else than your own life. So obviously your life's unmanageable, because you wouldn't sit there and be judging people because of what they are and who they are, and if they're on maintenance or if they're not on maintenance. That's not acceptable. That boggles my mind. Does maintenance work? Sure, for some people. Whether you're on maintenance for the right reasons or not, we're all addicts. We all know how to get our next fix. You can go to the doctor, get your prescription. You can sell that maintenance, whether it's methadone or whether it's bute. You can sell that and get your opiates, your heroin, your crack, whatever you need to get. Okay? And then there's people that are on it that are actually doing something with themselves. I chose not to be on maintenance. In my opinion, it's another drug. It's something else that I have to detox from. And that's what most addicts are afraid of, is the detox. Okay? Methadone and bupe is a lot safer than all other drugs that are out there. But you can still die from it if you mix different ingredients with it. Alcohol, benzos, etc., etc. But you can die a hell of a lot quicker from heroin and opiates. So who am I to sit here and judge anybody because of what they are or who they are? I'm not. I'm a better person today for trying to help the next person out. And I can give them my opinions. Whether they listen to me or not is different. 27 months of recovery, my whole thinking process has changed completely for the better. I'm able to now sit here and talk about my story. And when somebody texts me or calls me and says, hey, do a video on this, it gives me a lot of honor. And I'm grateful that I'm able to share my stories and other people's stories on this channel. But one thing that is not acceptable to me is somebody that goes out in the community, puts on a big show, and then can't wait to belittle somebody and embarrass them in front of a bunch of people at a meeting where you're supposed to be able to go to and be able to talk about your issues. Okay? Now, whatever the beliefs are at these meetings, Doesn't mean that you sit there and you badmouth or belittle somebody or bring them down or embarrass them. I was at a meeting a long time ago where a certain individual did that, and half the meeting left. All the people in the meeting, half of them, they left. How about you keep your opinions to yourself, okay? Know what you're getting into before you do it. Practice what you preach. That's crazy. These doors are supposed to be wide open for people that are struggling. Even if you're using, you should still be able to go to these meetings and be able to sit there and listen and also be able to talk about your life. People go to these meetings because they need help, not to be shunned or feel like they're made to leave. That's not acceptable. If I have a problem, I should be able to walk into this door with open arms and be welcomed into the community and be able to talk about my problems rather than feel like I need to be shut down with thoughts, well, these people don't like me. Where else can I go? So now I guess I'm going to go to my dealer's house because my dealer loves me. That dealer can't wait for me to go spend all my money on his crap that could eventually kill me. About helping people, about listening to people's stories, about not being so judgmental. It boggles my mind how people can criticize somebody for who they are and what they are. Because you know what? Those people talking all that jazz ain't any better than anybody else. Let me tell you that right now. Because you put on this whole big persona out in the world, and then you go home, treat your girlfriend like shit, cheat on her. And then the worst part about it is you talk about all this crap about maintenance, and you can't do this and you can't do that, blah, 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 for months, for years. And then it comes to my knowledge that you're dating somebody on maintenance. What type of people are you? That's freaking bananas, man. In my opinion, you should be shunned from the community that you talk all this jazz to. You don't practice what you preach by any means necessary. That's crazy, man. You need to take a good look at yourself in the mirror and realize who you really are. Because it's not acceptable. I walked away from these meetings because there was too much of that going on. That's why I opened this channel up. You are allowed to speak freely on my channel about anything you want to talk about. You're allowed to text me and say, hey, Jeff, I want you to do a topic for me. I don't feel comfortable being recorded on your show and letting the world see. I'm not going to judge you. I'm going to welcome you with open arms, and I'm going to say, let's talk about it. My number is everywhere. You can call me. I'm not going to steer you wrong. I'm not going to judge you. That's not who I am. I was judged for 7.5 years while I used drugs. I know what it feels like. I struggle. In those 7.5 years, I struggle. I'm scared of doctors. The only way I'm going back to a doctor if it's life and death. That's it. Other than that, I'm staying away from doctors. Doctors are so easy to hand out your prescription meds to you. They can't wait for you to schedule an appointment so they make money off you and give you those prescription meds. That's what they do. That's how most addiction starts. It's by going to a doctor. People that are easy to judge people need to take a good look at themselves. They need to take a step back. They need to separate themselves from putting on this big persona out in the communities thinking that they're better than everybody else when in reality they're not. They're no different than me. But I'm not going to go to a meeting and say somebody that's on maintenance that you can't do this and that. I would rather hear their voice and hear what they have to say than walk out the door. That's crazy to me. It boggles my mind. You can't love yourself till you can't love other people until you love yourself. That's a fact. You can't save the world. The only person that you can save is yourself. If you really want to help the community out, why don't you take a step back and listen to what other people have to say instead of being so judgmental? Instead of putting on a huge persona that you're better than everybody else. Because honestly, your life's in turmoil. And you ain't going to sit here and try to tell me otherwise. I'm not a fool. I'm just as smart as everybody else. I sit and I watch and I listen because it makes me a better person than trying to judge somebody for who they are. And I ain't judging you. I'm just trying to give you a life lesson. Sit back and shut up. That's the best thing you can do because the only person that you're insulting is yourself. And when you judge other people, they own you. They own you. That's a fact. Thanks for watching Light at the End of the Tunnel. My name is Jeff LaRouche. Today's topic will boggles my mind.